everybody, this is Boogess Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Marvel Legends Gladiator figure. So, Gladiator doesn't come with accessories, he only comes with the head of Apocalypse, and as you can tell, oops, just about knocked my whole diorama over. Let me adjust that, there. As you can tell, my Apocalypse Build-A-Figure is now built. I was a little impatient, and I ended up just building all of it before the video, so I'll probably just do comparisons with Apocalypse at the end of my videos leading up to the review of him. So, jumping straight on into this review. So, I'm really glad that Hasbro re-released this figure, because originally he was a 2013 Comic-Con exclusive, and we all know how hard those can be to come by. So, they've finally re-released him. So, right here, I'm going to put up what he originally looked like. Originally, he was a lot more glossy. Like, they did metallic red and metallic light blue. And his eyebrows were a little bushier. So, the differences aren't really... They're not major. The only thing that's different is the paint apps. So, you know, nothing major. So, for the head sculpt looks really good. I love how they did the blue coloring to his mohawk. That looks really awesome. It reminds me of how in the comics, how the shading to black is usually blue, but the rest of his hair doesn't have that. I think that they should have done like a wash of blue, or even just streaks of blue. That would look nice, but there's no blue there. I feel like that would have looked a lot better. There's also no blue on the top of his mohawk either, so I feel like they could have used just a little bit more blue there. And the eyes came out, a little clean. There's just a few, his eyes are just leaking a little bit. Because that's totally normal. But other than that, it's painted pretty cleanly. Now, one thing that I hate about this figure is this stupid cape. The peg that goes into his back is very rubbery, so it is hard to peg into that hole. Because it wants to bend and do that. So when you're pushing it in, it just wants to go sideways. Because when I took him out of the package, it was completely sideways. So, honestly, I'll probably just glue the cape down. Because if you don't, it's going to hover like that. So I'm probably just going to glue the cape down right there. On these pieces, whatever they're called. Don't know what these are called, but I'll probably just glue it down. That way it'll stay down and not look poofy. Well, it still might look a little poofy, but... His cape really doesn't have any sculpt detail to it at all. It has a little bit of paint detail to it, but you can see the yellow mist it's marked by a lot right there. And it gets cleaner right here where it's thinner, which honestly I figure it'd be more wavy up here in the thin part of the yellow, the thin lining. But right here where it gets really thick is where it starts missing its mark. And I noticed that there's some scuffage right there on his chest. It's the blue showing through just a little bit. And right there's another scratch. And you can tell that the blue's painted on. And it's painted on very shoddily. Like, honestly, I didn't notice it till I had it, like, really up close to the camera. But yeah, that's pretty shoddy. This one, it's not the best. It's pretty wavy. But it doesn't look bad. But this looks terrible. And that's about all to go over with this figure. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that, he used the Hyperion mold. Another reason why I was just doing a review on Saturday. Usually I don't do reviews on Saturday, but I figured it'd be really quick since he really doesn't have that much to go over on him. So now let's go over his articulation. He has a ball-jointed head that can look back all the way, even with the cape on. He can look down all the way, and he can move his head side to side. The cape doesn't get in the way of that. Mainly because it's not even on him. It's basically just hovering on him. So that's another thing I don't like. He has ball-jointed shoulders that can move out that far. He has swivel to bicep, double-jointed elbow, swivel thrust that can move side to side. And it's meant to move up and down, but mine are stuck. They kind of just move very slightly. So I'm probably going to have to boil these. I had some boiling water on to boil one of the figures for my comparisons, which I'll show here in a few. So I'll probably boil these after this review and get them to where they can move, where I'm not afraid that they'll break. He has an ab crunch that can move back all the way. He can crunch forward all the way. He has swivel at the waist. He has ball-jointed hips that can do a complete split. He can kick forward all the way. He can kick back just a little bit. He has swivel at the thigh, double-jointed knee, swivel at the shin, swivel at the ankle, and an ankle rocker. So, you know, he has the standard Hyperion articulation here. So let me get him posed here so I can do some size comparisons. So now comes the size comparisons. Hopefully he'll stay with that stupid cape being annoying. So I have quite a few figures here for comparisons. Another reason why I have more figures is because this is a shorter review. So first up, here he is next to the figure that I was boiling. The Ronin figure. It's the Ronin Build-A-Figure. And this is an old Build-A-Figure. It's 2008 or 9. And he's in real need of an update. This is, I think this is kind of just like a classic Ronin. And we need a more modern Ronin. Or just this one with updated articulation because his wrists, his elbows, and his hips are stuck, like, really bad. And I don't want to move them because I don't want it to break. As you can tell, mine also has some wear to it. It has lots of paint scuffage. Oh yeah, and he doesn't hold his hammer in his right hand. And that really bothers me. I mean, I make it fit. But that's another thing that bothered me, so I hope we get an updated Ronin here soon. Up next, here he is next to the Dark Phoenix. And there. They actually look really cool together. They kind of look like a team, since they have kind of matching colors. Because she has gold, he has yellow, she has dark red, he has dark and light red. It's meant to be just a lighter red, but as you can tell, the paint gets a little dark and light in some places. But they look like a tag team wrestling duo together. Here he is next to Mr. Fantastic, because he's fought the Fantastic Four before. Honestly, he's kind of one of those Marvel characters that's done a bit of everything. He's been good, he's been bad, he's fought the X-Men, fought the Fantastic Four, he's helped the X-Men. I don't know if he's helped the Fantastic Four. I know he did fight him, though. And finally, here he is next to Star-Lord. This is just the Entertainment Earth box set. Star-Lord. And now, I have just about all of the regular releases for the Thanos Imperative set, because it was Medusa, Black Bolt, Star-Lord, Gladiator, and Blastar. The only one left from the set that hasn't been remade is Blastar. And I doubt he'll get a Legend release, but with the Book of the Vishanti set, we got a regular release for almost all of them. They all had different paint apps, and two of them were MCU figures, but we still got them released. So hopefully we'll get a Blastar figure in sometime in the future. So overall, I think Gladiator is a cool figure. Mine has some really bad paint apps on it, but you know, when this is the only one I can find, I'm not going to complain. I did find this at JCPenney, so if you have a JCPenney, definitely look for them there, because that's how I finished my Apocalypse. And they're retail. They're $19.99. They're not $22 like GameStop. So I like him. You know, I feel like he does have some flaws, like the cape and the paint. But honestly, that's probably just mine. The rest are probably just fine. So I would recommend him. I wouldn't highly recommend him, but I would recommend him. Still a good figure. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.